collaboration actually kind of surprised me. I didn't really see this one coming. This is from Urban Decay. These are new little mini naked palettes that are in collaboration with a Smiley. And I think that's just like the smiley faces, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I need to look it up. But these are super cute. I didn't expect them to do a collaboration within like the little mini naked palettes because we really haven't seen too many of these sizes. So it's kind of fun to see them doing a collaboration. And when I saw the promo pics for these, I was actually really excited. And Urban Decay is one of those brands that I feel like I either get really excited about or I'm kind of like yawn. And actually when I saw this, it really reminded me, you can see my nice little pajama pants there, but it really reminded me of a old palette that they had called the Beach palette. And I was obsessed with that palette, and it kind of reminded me of that vibe with like these yellow, or like with the yellow and the blue. And I thought this one was really fun. And then we have the second one, and this one I feel like is also kind of a fun story, but also a little still muted. So you have some purples in there and kind of more of like a rustic look to this one. The packaging is so cute on these two. I love a good colorful packaging. As I'm filming this video right now, I don't really have much info on these aside from the fact that they're coming soon. It says to Sephora and to Urban Decay. I can't see them on the website or anything like that. So as soon as they're available, I will of course link them down below for you. But let's get started with trying them out. I think I'm gonna try the neutral one first, and then we'll go in and try the more colorful one last. So I'm first just gonna go in with some eye primer. This one is just from Kaleidos, and I'm just gonna use this to give us a little bit of a base before we start with the shadows. I got so excited to put these on my eyes that I didn't even swatch them, so I'll swatch them as we go here. So this is the palette we're about to go in with. I think I'm going to start with this shade, maybe kind of stay more in this family here and maybe add some of the purple to the lower lash. I don't know why I want to bring that in because it might be a little bit deep. But let's see if we can work with these 4 colors right here. I'm going to grab that shade right there. It's called Modern Rustic, and I'm just going to bring this onto my crease. I'm just using a fluffy brush here from Complex Culture. That seems to be blending nicely. Urban Decay has a decent matte formula. I feel like they're normally not overly pigmented, but kind of just the perfect amount, which I do like because I am someone who can get a little messy sometimes with my blending, so I don't want anything that's overly hard to blend out. Just nice and easy is what I prefer. I am going to take this one here called Upper, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to almost do maybe like close to a halo eye, so I'll add some here on the outer portion of the eye. This is a shimmer, but I think it's going to work for what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So just add that here on the outer portion, and then I'm also just going to add it to the inner portion of the lid here as well. I want like a really soft, pretty look is what I have in mind, but obviously with a fluffy brush this isn't going to be super pigmented, but I actually like the way that's looking. It's definitely a softer sparkle. I think Urban Decay has like 2 different shimmer formulas. They have one that seems like these are, where it's definitely a softer look and it's not going to give you like a super big punch. But then they have some of these palettes that have more of a shimmery metallic, and it doesn't seem from swatching any of these are going to be that bright metallic. I'm hoping in the other palette that maybe they are. I don't know. It's like I never know quality wise what to expect in their palettes from them. All right, and then with my finger, I'm gonna grab this middle shade and apply that to the lid. Now this one definitely has more punch to it. That's kind of the shimmer I was just talking about. So there's that. And you can tell just even when I swatch them next to each other, like how much more foiled this one looks. I didn't realize in my initial swatches, but I definitely think this is more of the glittery formula compared to the more dry shimmer. All right, I think I'm gonna leave that there. Let's go ahead and do the lower lash line. I said I wanted to play with the purple in the palette, so I think we're gonna do that. So let's grab a brush and use the purple. This one is called Brain Wave, and we'll just use that on the lower lash line here. And then I think I'm gonna put a fun liner too with this look. This is almost like a black purple, so it is going to be good for liner if you want to use it for that as well. And then I'm going to use this pen from Kaleidos. These were a part of their last collection. They're like these fun liners, so I want to use this one because I've been dying to try these. They're like a duochrome eyeliner, so I'm going to put this in the waterline. Ooh, That color is really fun. I'm gonna add a little something extra since we don't have a ton going on. That's kind of cool. It's kind of different, a little bit more metallic than I was thinking it was gonna go, but I really like how that looks. I'm going to add some of my Grande Fanning mascara to finish out this eye look. Once I have mascara, I'm actually gonna add just a little bit of that first Bone shade just to my inner corner because I don't think we have a lot going on there. I feel like we need a little bit more brightness. This is a matte. I love a good matte inner corner. I think it looks so nice. I'm gonna add a little bit up here to the brow bone as well. So here is our first look with the palette. I really do like the way that this turned out. I'm not saying that I'm like blown away because I mean, it's not anything, you know, super special, but it does look pretty. I do like it. This color story for me was the one that I wasn't as excited about as the other color stories. So I'm curious to see once I try the other palette how I feel, but I think it's cute. I don't think it's bad quality. I think the look I came up with is nice. Yeah, I just think it's pretty. What do you guys think? Let's go ahead now and try the other palette. All right, I am back again. I washed off all of the eye makeup and we're gonna try out this palette here. And when I'm looking at this, I wanna use every single shade because it looks so pretty to me. So we'll do swatches of this one too since we didn't swatch them like I said earlier. All right, and here are swatches from this palette. That first white shade, it barely shows up just because it is one of those like matte whites that you guys saw in the other palette. It looks pretty similar, but there are the swatches of those. I'm actually surprised at how close these two shades look swatched. Like you can barely tell the difference between the two of them, like on the swatch at least. So we're gonna have to try those out on the eyes and see if you can tell a difference. Looking at it, I can see like maybe a slight, this one is a little bit more orange than this one, but they're pretty close in the way that they look. All right, so we're gonna start with this shade right here last, and we'll go in with that first. This is like an orangey terracotta shade. It's a little bit more orange than the last one, but kind of a similar vibe to the last palette. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit to the lower lash line as well. All right, now we're gonna bring in the yellow here. So for this, I'm gonna kind of do a similar eye. I think I'm gonna stick with like the halo type of look. So we're gonna add this to the outer portion. Wow, that's really yellow. Okay, very, very bright. So to add this right in here, kind of just tap. And then I'm also going to add it to the inner corner of my eye as well. Tap that through here. You know how some people describe those colors as like baby poop? That's what this kind of reminds me of. It's like that yellowy, like almost green yellow. It's very bright, but that is exactly what it's reminding me of. And then we have to use this blue in the center. So I'm going to grab this on my finger and apply this to the center of the lid here. Really just making sure to tap that into the yellow. I am impressed with this blue. Like I said, it's looking pretty metallic. It's definitely giving more shine than I was getting with the other like purple in the other palette. So we're just kind of just layering that quite a bit with my finger here. I feel like I could use a damp brush maybe and get a little bit more foil to it, but I'm happy with the way it's looking now. And then let's go into this one right here. This one is called Portray, and we'll use that on top of the gold here just to add a little bit of something extra to make sure we can use more colors in the palette. So I'll just bring this right onto the yellow. It's going to deepen it up a bit, but I want to try out more colors. So I'm also going to add in a little bit of this. Why not? We'll just add that over top as well, just to deepen it up even further. At least over top of this matte, that shade does look a little bit darker. This is so fun now that we added those shimmers to the lid. I'm just gonna add that a little bit over top over here just to kind of marry those two shades. So I want to use another one of these Kaleidos ones. I'm trying to think which one would go good with this look. I'm almost thinking maybe like one of these greens would look cool. This one kind of has like a pink green shift to it, so I think this one will be perfect to add to this look. So I'm just gonna pop that right on the waterline here. Let me actually add though a little bit more of another one because I was kind of going for something a little bit more bright. So yeah, let's add this one. This one has more green to it. I'll just kind of marry that with the last one. Okay, yeah, that's kind of more what I was going for, was a little bit more of something brighter. That is fun. Okay, and then let's add some colors on the lower lash to match. So down there, I'm gonna go in with this shade and just kind of layer that right over top of the liner, almost to set it, but also add a little bit of extra sparkle. I am very impressed with these Kaleidos liners. They look so cool. They have such a cool like shift to them. All right, and then let's do the matte for the inner corner again. So we'll just add that right on this inner corner. I feel like I brought this out a little bit further, so it's not gonna be as much of a dramatic look to add that as it was before, but we'll just put a little bit right in there just to waken it up a little bit, and then again a little on the brow bone. All right, and after mascara, here is the second eye look. I am feeling this one. I feel like it's so fun. I'm definitely more, you know, intrigued by this palette. I do feel like it's kind of more fun, a little bit more out there than the last one, and I think that the shimmers in here are a little bit more foiled in my opinion than the other palette as well, but I really like this eye look, so very fun. Okay, let's zoom out and get into my final thoughts on these Urban Decay mini palettes. So what do I think? Which one should you get if either? I think if you like these color stories, then I don't think you'd be mad at the quality. However, I do think that Urban Decay is just one of those brands for me that I feel like I could just be with or without their eyeshadow formula. I don't think it's anything that ever wows me. I'm never like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, but it's never bad either. It's kind of just like an in-between for me. I do like both of the looks I was able to come up with. If I was choosing between the two, I think I would choose this palette because I do think it's a little more fun. It's a little bit more down my alleyway because I do love blue, so I love that we have that pop in there, but I love a copper eye too, so I think it's nice that you have that option. These two shades are pretty similar though. I feel like they could have kind of spiced it up maybe and added something else in there, but it is a pretty palette. I did like it, and then this one was fun as well. I liked the eye look I came up with, just a little bit more boring than this one when you compare the two. So you guys will have to let me know down below what you think. Which eye look did you prefer more? Are you planning on grabbing these? Do you want to see more minis from Urban Decay? I definitely do. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye friends.